Hi, good afternoon. Thank you so much for all showing up today. I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Joan Davidson. My husband, Sanford, and I moved here in 1976 with our 3 children. They've all grown up here, and I'm proud to say they're successful adults with happy families. We moved here for the educational system, and that foundation helped them as they headed for college and beyond. I have a bachelor's and a master's degree in education. I served on the Palos Verdes School Board as president and member for 8 years, and as president of the Southern California Regional Occupational Center in Torrance. I've taught at Torrance South High School for 15 years. As a mother with my background in education, it saddens me to have come to this point in time when the educational system that we have all taken for granted is at great risk. That puts our children at risk as well. I believe the American public is waking up to the orchestrated effect to privatize and monetize our education system. We can't sit idly by watching a small, wealthy group of people take over our public schools. We're organizing to educate the public, and in state after state, teachers and parents are coming together. They're speaking out against high-stakes testing, online learning, and assessments. Simply stated, I cannot condone spending billions of educational dollars on products being sold to districts by the companies who participated in creating these new national standards, while California has always had the gold standards. In September 2009, Bill Gates stated that when the tests align to Common Core standards, then curriculum will line up as well, and it will unleash powerful market forces with large base of customers eager to buy products. In 2013, Bill Gates said, "It would be great if our education stuff worked, but we won't know that for at least a decade." So our kids have become an experiment. David Coleman, the architect of the new national standards, now has a cushy job as the head of the College Boards and SAT. The big players in this game are Achieve Testing Corporation, located in Washington, D.C., Pearson Publishing, Educational Testing Services in California, Rupert Murdoch, I think we've all heard of him, and Bill Gates. Yes, education has become big business, but children are not products. Teachers are trained to teach. We do not want to be called facilitators with scripts handed out to us. LA Unified has that online today for their teachers. Since the implementation of Common Core in 2010 in California, the state has spent hundreds of millions of dollars on tests and implementation, but the results are dismal. Last year, $100 million alone, with 16% passing statewide. The cost of implementing Common Core technology for the purpose of testing has pushed school districts to the brink. Districts should not lose local control to those who want to profit from taking that control, whether it's through testing assessments or textbooks. Districts cannot put our children at risk. The California School Board has stated that the Smarter Balance test, now called CASP, will have no accountability for 3 years. It doesn't count in our performance index. Last year, Michael Kurse, this is one of my favorite quotes, who's the president of the California School Board, said, "We're not communicating proficiency." That's a federal word. They use that, and we're not. It's just not a part of our thinking here. Well, if we're not thinking about proficiency, what are we thinking about? Smarter Balance, now known as CASP in California, is given between April and May, but the results will not be sent home to parents for 5 months. The test is secret, and neither the parents nor the teachers will ever see the test. This is of no benefit to adjust learning or improve teaching. You'll never be allowed to see the problems your child got wrong. The scores are not the raw score, it's the cut score. Then why give it at all? People love to compare the United States to Finland. Why aren't we doing as well as Finland? Did you know that Finland doesn't give any standardized tests at all? It's based upon teacher tests, and I have one of the handouts back there. It was in the LA Times op-ed recently this year. And there are many consequences beyond monetary costs. There are costs to our children, sitting in front of computers trying with desperation to understand the tests and the questions. This isn't a conservative or a liberal agenda. This is about parents, teachers, and community coming together for the sake of children. Smarter Balance is one of the testing consortiums in the United States, and a group called PARCC, P-A-R-C-C, is the second one. Smarter Balance now is down from 15 member states. It's now has, from the original 24, Park originally had approximately 20, and now they're down to 7. Palos Verdes students are already college and career ready. That's the boast about Common Core. We want your child to be college to career ready. 98% of our graduates go to college. We have brilliant students, great teachers, and let's face it, that's why we all moved here. 98% of our kids pass the high school exit exam in 10th grade. Our local school district is bribing students this year with pizza parties to take the Smarter Balance test, and they're giving out misinformation about Cal State University placements. They're stating that Smarter Balance tests can automatically place you into an English 101 class without remedial classes. But last year, our Smarter Balance test showed that only 48% would have been eligible for that placement. 52% would have had to take the placement test anyway. So let's think about this for a minute. The California State University placement test is about an hour and a half. The Smarter Balance test is about 10 hours. This is what I'm suggesting. Take the placement test now, and you'll be ready, and you'll know that you're college ready. If 98% of our students pass the high school exam in 10th grade, then I think 98% of our kids can pass this Cal State University entrance exam. In fact, one of our major options right now is to use our voice, and our voice is to opt out. That's the only way to use your voice in the political realm right now. California state legislatures have the right to bring back true local control, which in California we have according to the Ed Code and the law. So use your voice, take your message back to your friends, make it clear, and opt out your children today from Common Core. And I have the opt-out forms in the back. We have 4 very distinguished people with us today, and I really want to thank them for showing up and coming, because it's really, really important. This is the first time these 4 have come together, and this broadcast is going across the nation over the internet, which will carry far and wide. Dr. Sandra Stotsky is here from Boston. She has her doctorate from Harvard University, and she's Professor Emerita from the University of Arkansas. She is an author with many books and many articles, which she can share with you. She has served on the National Validation Common Core Committee and was one of the 5 people who refused to sign off on the Common Core standards. She set Massachusetts academic standards for K-12 students, and she was part of the National Assessment of Educational Progress Reading Assessments. Sandra is known nationwide and globally for her in-depth analysis of the problems in Common Core's English language standards. Dr. Cynthia McDermott is professor and department chair at Antioch University. She previously taught in the Cal State University system, and she's a Fulbright scholar doing grants, and she has research credits. Dr. Walter Ulrich, sitting over here, is from Cal State Fresno, from the Kremen School of Education and Human Development. He coordinates the Master of Arts in Teaching program, and his PhD is in Curriculum and Instruction from the University of Wisconsin. And we have our first school board member ever elected on an anti-Common Core campaign from Modesto, California, Mr. John Walker. John is the first school board member who's run on this campaign platform and was seated in November 2015. John works for NASA in the research and development of air traffic control software at UC Santa Cruz. So we have a very distinguished group today, and I hope you take heed and listen, and each is going to speak for about 15 minutes, and then we'll take questions.